Hey everyone, this is Ittarra Oda, and I am bringing you another Titanfall video. Now, the premise behind this is, this was my first recorded flawless, other than the one that I got without recording, because my mouse loves to double click like a douchebag. So, I decided that I was going to use this, even though it's a little bit meh as a whole, but it was actually a good, but the good thing about it is, well, when you're actually playing this game, the hitboxes are actually point blank the character. It's none of this shoot around corners, none of this nonsense that you get from Call of Duty where you're aiming at the person and the bullet seemingly goes right through or whatever else have you. The hitbox is extremely precise. Now, the reason you won't be seeing too much of the longbow sniper in general, because of the simple fact that this game, because it has such precise hitboxes, it bothered my aiming slightly, just because there's no leniency. You don't realize how lenient games are. You don't realize how lenient FPSs are until you actually get one that is made to where the online, etc., are actually really freaking well done to a point to where you can't even be a little bit off. You actually have to hit them in order to actually hurt them. It's not like, oh, well, they move slightly to the left, you know, my bullet hit their actual box. Literally, it's like a square. But here, it's more along the lines of, you know, you have to have precise aiming. Otherwise, you're not going to be hitting nothing. Now, see, if that was Call of Duty, that would have been a headshot. Guaranteed. But as you can clearly tell, it missed. And another factor of this is because there's so many different controllers, right? Like when my cordless went out, I had to grab, my ex bought me a Afterglow controller. Well, I've been using that to play, you know, Call of Duty because it was the only controller I had. There was nothing else I could do. But the sticks are so stiff on the Afterglow itself, I had to readjust my muscle memory. So now that I have an Xbox One controller that is actually, you know, the analogs are actually responsive and they're not stiff and they actually get broken in and stuff like that, it's freaking weird. I get this weird freaking cramp in my forearms that is like, hey, guess what? Because my body, because it's like, I know better. I know how I have to aim with the Afterglow. But because this is an Xbox One controller, I have to go back to how I was playing so many years ago. And it's like, and not only more but goddamn, I suck at aiming with the sniper. You know, it's one of those things where a precise hitbox is amazing if you're used to it. Now, this is where it gets interesting. Distract, Walkling, headshot. Yeah. Distraction, make him turn around, jump, and then I wall cling behind him, and just one fire hip shot headshot. That was freaking cool. And in honor of my friend Spencer, switch shot! There you go. Better, feel better, now that I lost every viewer that I was gonna have. Hello, this is Ittarra Oda. No, I'm just joking. Now, see, the premise of this game is one of the cool features, another cool feature about this game, besides, you know, the hitboxes and stuff like that, is when it comes right down to it, there's none of this manipulating the hitbox because of how fast it is that you react. Like, I don't believe you can actually manipulate how a bullet is going to act like you could in Call of Duty. If you upped your sensitivity, all it does is just make you turn faster, which is, you know, fine. But when you're if a game is improperly made online, when you're turning faster and you pull the trigger, you actually cause the bullet to strafe. It's actually one of the things that, if you're on a higher sensitivity, the hitbox, it's like the game doesn't react to the sensitivity itself and the hitbox itself. It's like almost getting shot literally around the corner because of how wide it is and how the latency is. Here, there's none of that, which I find amazing. They made it to where that shit doesn't happen, and I'm actually really happy about it. Now, I got my Titan here. I'm using the 40mm cannon. And I am getting fucked up here, because there was a Titan behind me that I wasn't aware of, there was another Titan in front of me, and now it's like 2v1, and then... Rescuers! Yay! Look how much health I have! I have nothing left, and they get distracted with him, so it's like, yes! Just keep getting distracted by him. I want to live. I want to live. Yeah! Well, the one thing is about Titanfall in general that I believe is one of the, you know, better made, I guess you could say, is this game just does not have that much of a, what is it, a manipulation issue. Whereas if you had upped your sensitivity, or, you know, if you upped your sensitivity in some way, shape, or form, you could actually make it to where your hitbox is further off of you or closer to you, and it was like, you know, it just didn't make much sense to me. I mean, I understand the premise behind it, but at the same token, Now, in the next match, you will see, you will actually see the difference between this match and how the hitboxes are precise, and how you will get a better understanding of what I mean by precise hitboxes, because with a sniper, it can be, you know, hit or miss, even if you're off by an inch. Now, I'll be using the R101C carbine in the next one, and you'll be able to see that it's like, it's really precise. So, there's that plus. Oh, hang on one second, people. Sorry about that. I had a really bad tickle in my throat all of a sudden that just started making me cough like a madman, so I had to stop for just a quick second. Now, what you're gonna see is, you know, Sidewinder and everything else, but here's an interesting fact right here. Wait for it. Wait for it. And my neck snapped, but watch, it didn't count as a death. So, flawless, technically, even though kind of a BS way of getting it, but I don't know. I'm not sure how to feel about that, but technically it is a flawless. And what we're going to do is go boop, 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 and we're going to be over on to our next map here. How do you say that? Demeter? Demeter. There we go. I don't know how to say that. That's really... I never realized how to say that map name. Demeter? I don't know. But anyway, like I was saying, this is what's going to be really interesting. You're going to see right out the gate how it really is. Assuming that I can pick my class properly. Alright. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the high ground immediately. And, you know, every instinct that is within me in, like, you know, FPS in general is just going to be like, don't do that. Don't make yourself a target. You know, because high ground, little cover, etc., etc. Well, this is where it becomes interesting. See him fall. If I would have let that trigger fly, not a single bullet would have hit him, but I had to burst fire it. See what I mean? I shot around him technically, but if this was Call of Duty or something of that nature, those bullets would have missed. Or it would have taken a split second. Now, I am really hurt right here. One more bullet will kill me. But, because I got on the other side, I was able to actually survive. I was able to actually use the cover. And it's like, cover is amazing. You know, why don't we have this shit, you know, in other games? You gotta love the cover. It's just, why? But, now, another thing I wanted to talk about was that even when, if you have a latency problem, if you have, let's say, a 2, a 1 bar, and so on and so forth, this game is still actually playable even with lag. Because I did have a match, I don't want to say a couple of days ago, it was like more like yesterday, but it's a blur, where my connection actually dipped slightly, and it was noticeable, of course, but the thing was it was only a slight hiccup. it was actually just a slight, small skip. At the end of this match, you'll see my ping, and it'll be from, instead of like, you know, the normal 4 to 5 that I usually have, it's like 3-2. Which is fucking amazing, because I didn't even notice the difference. Normally it's when you get a lag spike of any type, you skip, you jump, you bounce back and forth, and you're like, you know, you can't do much. But I didn't miss a beat. I didn't even know it was happening. It's like, holy freaking hell, man. So, you know, now, this guy was shooting up here. I did not know where he had went, but after investigating, I was able to actually do this. I was actually able to find him, because I was not going to take a chance on letting him live and cause more havoc. Okay, now, what you saw right there, that Titan drop, was actually basically this game's form of a riot shield. It's another Titan ability where you tap your left bumper and it drops an impenetrable shield. I don't think you can actually go through it either, but don't quote me on that. Now, this is where the funny part happens. Watch this.
You almost feel bad for them. Nah.
That made me laugh for like 5 minutes straight, just because of the fact that it's like, it almost felt like, you know, it was like some sort of like interaction you have with, you know, a good teammate or something like that. It's like, you almost feel bad, don't you? And then, you know, your dickhead of a teammate's like, no, not really, no, kill them all! But, now, this is an interesting Titan fight right here. This is the Ogre Titan. It has double the health I do. However, I take a little bit boom, Vortex Shield, and it cuts him nearly in half because he is using the Quad Rocket. Now, the Quad Rocket Titan weapon is extremely freaking powerful. However, the problem with it is it's very inaccurate. You're not going to be able to actually hit very many long-range targets. Now, you can see that I'm using the, I believe it's the the X06 chain gun, and essentially it's like, imagine a hammer, if you will, from Black Ops 2. That's pretty much how that gun acts. However, it's a lot more precise, because you don't have to worry about the burst or anything like that slowing down. Now, this is where, this enemy right here, watch this. Notice how I emptied my entire clip into them, but they don't die. The reason why they didn't die was because of a burn card. The burn card itself gave them increased health and health regen. However, the thing about it is it's not as bad as Juggernaut was. It's a burn card that's a rare drop. It's actually a rare burn card drop. And when you do get it, it's only good for that life, as well as let's say if you shoot someone with a Titan weapon. Normally it's like more along the lines of a one-shot, one-kill. More or less, if you're using the 40mm or it doesn't take that much. If you're using a Titan weapon of sorts, you won't notice the difference. They'll just die immediately still. If you're using, let's say, the carbine or anything of that nature, it takes slightly longer to kill them. However, it's not like it's, you know, oh, Juggernaut cost me, you know, so long and so forth and everything else. No. It's, I don't want to say balanced, because, you know, Juggernaut is Juggernaut. It's voodoo.
Nice move.
But it doesn't feel like it's that big of a deal to actually come across somebody with it, because the time to kill in this game is atrociously quick. You have to be, like, spot on. I was gonna try and land on him and get an assassination, but it didn't work. So I just kicked him in the hip. Okay. Now, the Titan weapons they vary. Like, every single one of them have a different schematic to them. A different purpose, if you will. You don't have to... There's an arc cannon, an actual sniper, a Titan sniper, the chain gun, a tri-missile launcher, not missile launcher, but a grenade launcher, and the 40 millimeter cannon. Each one of these have their own uses. The arc cannon is good for causing mayhem, and I mean absolute mayhem, because the longer you charge it, the more damage you do. And if there's more enemies around, it jumps from enemy to enemy, so you can wipe out an entire thing of grunts with just one pull of the trigger. So, you gotta put in the thing. However, unless you have a full charge, you will not kill a pilot. You have to fully charge it, and the charge time is about 3 seconds, maybe a little bit longer, 3 or 4. Now, the quad rocket, like I said, it was not that great for long distance, because the further you are away, the more it spreads. So, it's good for close quarters. It's kind of like a shotgun. It's kind of like a shotgun. An explosive shotgun. Another thing about the sniper rifle, it's exactly that. Very low rate of fire, high damage. The triple threat grenade launcher is basically just that, a triple threat. Well, everyone, this is Ittarra Oda, signing off. I hope you all have a good day, and I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any questions, be sure to leave a comment in the section below, and I hope you stay safe. Take care, everyone, and have a good day. Bye!